A very good afternoon, champs, and hope you are doing good. I'm waiting for HTML part 11. So let's get quickly started with HTML5 and CSS3 for beginners. You're still beginners, maybe after 2 or 3 classes you may not remain beginners anymore, so we'll have to go to HTML5 for intermediate level, right? Okay, let's get quickly started and let me give you an overview of what we have so far done. We've done this, right? We were able to create a box layout and then create a flexible box layout, right? It's still not completely mobile friendly, yeah, because we are going to touch, at some moment in time, we're going to touch media queries in CSS3 and some JavaScript as well. So then we'll see that how to make a complete box layout, right? Which is what we call that retina website, or we call them as responsive web applications and websites, right? Okay, let's get started. Alright, the first thing that you can see here, that this image is coming completely in contact with this txt right here, so means we have to give it a bit of padding, right? Okay, if I go back and see where my image is inside this paragraph right here, right? What I can do, I can target the paragraph and give a bit of width, and I give a bit of height, right? Or I can do one thing right here, I can give this paragraph an ID, right? So that is also possible if you want to give, right? Or you can target all the paragraphs in article. For example, I go to default.css and I know that I have an article tag somewhere. We haven't targeted articles yet, right? No, we have not. Let's target article and see what we can do. There are many different things that we still have to do in case, because this is still not going to be the most professional website that we intend creating. So right, so creation of those applications is going to take a while, right? But yeah, since we have not targeted any article, let me search first. Have we? No, we have just displayed article as block. Okay, we have this section called, yeah, we are targeting this, and we are even targeting article image right here. So now inside section content we have an article, and inside article we have a paragraph. We can even do this, right? It's called multi-layout styling. So you're applying styling to multiple layouts, so all the articles will have the same. Now you can see, right, it doesn't look overlapped, right? So all the articles, maybe if you think 10 pixels is quite a bit, you can reduce it to 5 pixels. So 5 pixels is good, right? So we are going to learn many interesting things today, like videos, audios, and see how long we can go. And we'll have a look at a few other HTML tags as well, right? Because we are not going to remain with only one thing here, right, which is only article and section. So we have to move ahead and see some other tags as well. So let's get quickly started, right? And let me first target the article div, because yeah, article is coming nice and easy now, so we don't have to do anything. Yeah, only one thing is that this has to flow towards left. So what we can do, I can say article, or maybe article in here I can target, right? Article has a footer, but we can tell that footer to float, or we can say text align is equivalent to right. So we can text align right side, right? Now this is what we did maybe in the first layout, and then we created the flexible layout and we forgot this thing, right? So now we have this layout ready here. Okay, so let me show you some more interesting things. Okay, let me create one more article here so that we happen to see other things as well. Okay, alright, so we have a third article now inside the same section, and you don't need to apply styling for this, right? Now the article is ready, right? And the article is going to be, the first thing that we are going to see today is going to be, maybe we'll start with the progress bar. So let's say progress bar, right? I can select this progress bar, right? Progress bar in HTML5, right? And we can just delete by, I can say, written by me, because I'm training you guys, isn't it? So now let's see an example of progress bar right here. And progress bar, to develop progress bar, it's only HTML5 supported, and support in IE is after IE 9, right? Okay. So let's start progress. So like you see, PRO. So now we have this progress tag. But the moment I go with this progress tag and I close this progress tag, you'll see that, right? You can see this progress bar is coming here, right? So you can see clearly a progress bar is here, right? And it's basically, it's not stable, right? It's going here and there. So how do you make this progress bar stable is by doing the following thing. So I can say, hey, the value that you are going to take is 22, right? Okay, now we have 22, but what is the maximum? If I give, for example, value 22, so he'll take the entire value, but what is the maximum? So I'll say maximum is going to be 100, right? Let's say about, I'm dividing it, right? Out of 100, progress bar will have this much values, all right? Okay, now you can see that the progress bar has 22 value. I can even go here if I inspect element, all right? Okay, so if I, let me zoom this for you. All right, so now this is the progress bar, and now if I zoom and go to inspect element and start editing from 20 to 30, now you can see the progress bar is growing. So this is what we'll be doing automatically using the JavaScript, right? So this is progress bar for you, and automatic things are yet to be learned, but yeah, we are still at learning tags only, right? So we'll first complete learning tags, and then we'll see how to basically, oh, why have I turned aeroplane mode on? I don't know. All right, okay, fine. So this thing is done. Let me get connected to internet back. Yeah, I'm connected now, right? So this is progress bar for you, and let us carry on. After the progress bar, I will show you, let me go ahead with details, right? So let's say details tab in HTML, or details tab, and then we can say details tab in HTML5, and for that what we can use here is details. So it's again HTML5 tag, and it's a very wonderful tag, very useful, right? The moment I go with details tag, now you can see at the front end you have some details, right? It can expand, you can expand these details, but yeah, there's nothing in detail. So I can go with let's say about paragraph, first paragraph, right? So we can say this is a new feature of HTML5, right? And I can go with another paragraph right here. This gives developer a control over many things, right? And what do we can use this for? We can use this for, we can use details tab to categorize things, right? And utilize the space, right? And we can add one more thing, right? It helps, take a note of these things, these are real, I'm writing it for you. It helps us utilize the space, right, in a better way. So it helps us utilize the space in a better way, right? Fine. So now you can see details is here. Once I click here, now you can see it's expanded, right? And we know that the box layout is here. It's going to automatically adjust the size, right? Now you can see it's expanded, right? You can see it's just like menu bar, right? And yeah, if you want to give some other name, because details of what? Because user has the right to know what are these details about, Alright, so since I have not given this a caption, so it is better to give it a caption, and to caption it, so we use this summary tag, right? To caption we use the summary tag, and we will say new, or we can say new feature, F-E-A-T-U, features of HTML, right? So now you can see the caption has, instead of details, you have overridden it. Now you are having, I'll zoom it for you, so now you can see new features of HTML. So still we are having this here. You can click, now you can see this is the details tab. Now if you are not happy with this outline, what you can do, you can target these details directly. So I can say the section has an article, and article has a details tab, and I don't want any outline, and the outline is equal to none. Now we have set it to null, and now you can see it still has some outline. So let's see if I target all the details tab. Okay, still gives us outline. Maybe we have to target the summary tag. Yeah, so maybe we have to target, because it's the summary. Yeah, we can see now the moment we target summary tag, the outline is gone. You can even call the summary tag and say, hey, I want the cursor to be pointer, so I want to use cursor as pointer here. Now you can see, now we have the pointer coming here. So this is details tab for you. You can close it down, you can toggle it basically. Now what you are doing, you're toggling it, right? Okay, fine. Now details tab is over. You can even say background color, any color that you want. You can even choose that for details. So that we have a different color for details, and we have a different color for the paragraphs inside and details. Okay, or you can target it like this. So let me tell you, padding 10 pixels, right? And maybe 10 pixels is too much. I can say 5 pixels. Yeah, 5 pixels looks much better. And I can say the background that I have chosen is actually darker to one the background. Yes, now you can see it is a bit darker, or you can even go with a bit lighter shade here if you want to go with a lighter shade. So you can learn color combinations also. Now you can see, right? Okay, and you can have color as white, which is triple F, right? So now this is features. Now even if you want to style the text inside details, so I can directly go to details right here, and I can say details paragraph has background color, right? And I am going to give them something this. Now moment you open it, no, it's not taking it. I don't know why, because I have to terminate it. Alright, and padding 2 pixels. Yeah, padding is taken. I don't know. Yeah, now you can see it's taken it, right? It has this one extra, I suppose, so that's why it was not coming. Right, you can see now it has different features. It depends on which color do you want. So for my liking, you can go with FFF, which is the background color, or you can go with the border as well. So let me zoom in for you. Now you can see this is how your details tab may look like, right? So if you want a details tab, right? Okay, let me keep this details type as it is already, right? So let me go ahead with another article. Alright, so I can have as many articles as I want. Alright, so now it's not details, so I'll have to get rid of details, and I'll have to show you something else now. Alright, and now we have to see the canvas. So for that, let me go ahead and create a new HTML file, and I show this to you. Alright, I'll save it inside desktop, and we have HTML website, and let's call this canvas.html. Alright, and I don't need this, so I'll just need this because see how much code does XHTML take, so we don't need it, so because we are dealing with only HTML, and I'll close the body tag and I'll close the HTML tag. So let me show you what canvas is. Canvas, you know, right, the board where we draw drawing and etc. So let me open canvas.html. As you can see, canvas.html is as black as possible. Alright, it's completely blank. Right, so let me draw a canvas for you, right? And let's use canvas. It's a very good property of HTML5 where we can draw vector graphics, right? And we can draw circles, any kind of vector graphics. Even there are people who are using canvas for designing games, right? Okay, I can see canvas ID is equal to my canvas. So I'm giving this an ID. Now, in order to understand canvas, we have to understand JavaScript. And to understand JavaScript, I'll go back to HTML5, right? So for example, let me take this article right here. So I will say JavaScript basics, right? And we will say JavaScript with canvas. Alright, and I'll go to this paragraph right here, and I may say that we have an input type. We have an input type text, and let's give it a name. So I'll say name, or let me give it an ID here. So I'll say ID is equal to txt name. So or we can say txt value. So the ID of this input type text is txt value. So let me show you this. Now you can clearly see JavaScript basics. So now this is the input type text. So now to submit, to create an event, right? I want to create an event on this. So if you write something here, I want to grab it or something like that. For that, we may require an event handler. And for event handler, what we will do is go with input type button. So I'll go with input type button. And what do you want the value of the button to be? I will say submit, right? Now you can see the caption of button, which is the value of button, is going to be submit. Now you can see I want something to happen when I click on this button, right? So for that, what I will do, I'll go down here inside the body section, and I will open tags. Now just like JavaScript, right, what do we do? Or just like CSS, right? For example, if I open style tags here, so I'll say style, and I'll say styles, right? So I'll say footer, right? So I can target directly. So this is called in-page styling, which is not recommended. But yeah, since I'm making you guys understand, so I'll say style type is equal to text/CSS. And now I'll say, right, background red. So I'm using background as red. So I'll go, and now you can see it has overridden. Why has it overridden it? Yeah, because that CSS file is included in the head section. Now I'm overriding whatever is in here. I'm overriding it here. Why? Because the first thing is first executed. First line is first read in scripting, right? Because it's scripting and markup HTML is interpreted by the browser, unlike Java, right, which takes the entire code and compiles it and creates a class file of it, right? And then there are two times, runtime is different, compile time is different. So that's not the case with HTML and JavaScript, because both are being interpreted rather than compiled. Interpret means they're going to be read line by line, right? So that's why first there was something else background of our footer in default.css, and now we are overriding it because this line is coming at the end, right? So this is also possible. Now I don't want to show you this. Now the moment I take this tag away, now you can clearly see, right? If I take this tag completely away, it is coming here, footer, background. It is taken as plain HTML, right? Rather than taking this particular thing as CSS and execute it as CSS, it has been taken as plain HTML. Why? Because you have to tell your browser, hey browser, wait a second, do not take this section as HTML or text. Take this section as complete CSS. Similar is the case with JavaScript. So I'll say script type. So I'll use script, right? What is the difference between scripting and programming? As I said, script is interpreted, programming is compiled, right? So I'll say script type is equal to text slash JavaScript, right? So JavaScript is a very nice script. Now you can see that it has not come. Now, for example, if I do alert, hello, how are you? You'll say, sir, I'm fine. Terminated, not termination here. Termination takes place here. Right, you can say, hello, how are you? And now you'll have to say, while watching this video, you'll have to say that, sir, I am fine. Thank you. Right, and now you can see, now if I take this JavaScript tag away, right, and then I do this, you can see, alert, hello, how are you? It makes no sense at all, right? Does it? Does it make any sense? No, it does not make any sense. Why? Because we want this thing to be compiled. We want this thing to be executed, right? Rather than printed as plain HTML, right? Why? Because we have deleted the script. Now we are telling the browser, hey browser, wait a second, please execute it. Now you can get alert. The moment you load the page, you are getting alert, hello, how are you? And client script, JavaScript is basically a script that is run from the browser. If you go to the page source, you can clearly see the script is downloaded to the browser, right? It's unlike server-side script, right? When you learn that, you'll see that it's not sent to the browser. Server, does all the push and pull, the request and response, and it is the web server that renders the output as HTML. But yeah, here the case is different. We are using client-side script. What is JavaScript? JavaScript is client-side scripting, right? What is scripting? Interpreted rather than compiled. Is JavaScript from Oracle or Sun Microsystem? No. JavaScript is from a different company known as Netscape, right? And it has nothing to do with Java, right? Because it is not Java, it's JavaScript, and the company is completely different, right? Here it is Netscape, and in Java we first had Sun Microsystems, then taken over by Oracle, INC. Alright, so now what we have to do, for example, I have to grab it. So let me create a function. Function you all are aware. So in JavaScript we create function by defining function, right? So the keyword function, just like the keyword class in Java is used to create a class, we use in JavaScript function to create a function. And we don't have classes here in JavaScript because it is non-object oriented, right? So if I create a function, I call this function as get, or we can say display, whatever function you. Now I'm creating this function, start of the function, and this is end of the function. I'll say alert. Hello, right? So this is going to do. Now the alert is not going to come on load when you load the page. No, now it is function display has to be called. You can go directly at the beginning here, right? Inside the body, you can say body on load. Hey body, whenever you load a specific web page, please call this JavaScript function, right? So please call this JavaScript function display. Now you can see the display will be automatically called when you load the page, right? And it is not called. Display has D small, and here it is capital. It's case sensitive, as you know, right? So now let me try again. Now hello, you are getting. Now see, right, the moment this much of page is loaded, you're loading body, and you get hello. The moment you load, you can see, the moment you load the page, you are getting hello. Why? Because you said body on load JavaScript hello display. Or you can do something like this. You can go inside here and create a script tag, which is script type text slash JavaScript, and you can say I want to call this display function. All right, now you can see, no, it basically has some issues. You can directly call it there as well, because it has to be loaded first. You can even call directly display here, but that's not what we want. So let me be very clear. That's not what we want. We want this to happen on a specific event, right? And I want this function to be called as soon as you click the button submit here. So as soon as I click this button submit, I want this function to be called. So now for that, what I'll do, input type buttons, right? I'll go ahead here and I will say hey button on click. Whenever you are clicked, whenever the button here is clicked, whenever an event is generated, you go to JavaScript, right, and call display. Go to JavaScript and call display. As simple as anything. Right now we go ahead and say hello. Hello is not going to do anything, but yeah, the moment you call submit button, you're getting alert. The moment you call submit button, you're getting alert. The moment you call submit button, you're getting alert. 3 times, right? But yeah, that's not what I intend doing. So now, what is the ID of this input type text? That is txt value. I can go ahead and say this is the ID. Remember, this is the ID. HTML, we have class, we can have ID, and we can have names. So I'll say whenever the function display is clicked, you go and declare a generic type variable, right? A generic type can hold. It's generic means here a data type with no logic, like we have integer, who can take integer only, a string can take string, a char can take char, right? So, and any data type which does not have any logic, for example, this var, here's a generic type which can take all the values. It can take floating variables, right? It can take integer, string, char, whatever you want to say. And now here I can say document dot get element by ID. Document dot get element by ID. And what is the ID? The ID is txt value, right? And now you can say I want to get value of that, right? I want to get value. Value means whatever you can write inside this txt value text box. I want to grab the value, right, and I want to take it to this var. What is the name? Val, or we can say name, right? And now this var name takes value of this txt value input type text, and now you can alert the same value here, right? You can alert the same value here, right? And now I can say hello baby. Now I click, so we're getting hello baby, right? If I click, I'm getting hello baby. Rather than alerting, if you want something more, for example, I will say, for example, this is the article in here, and let me create a what do I create? Let me create another div here. So just to check, right? So let me create this div here. I'll say div id is equal to my div, right? So this is my div. Now I can display it over my div, right? Instead of alerting, I can say document dot get element by id, which is my div, right? And I can say dot inner HTML, set the div's inner HTML, right? Dot inner HTML, and I can set this name as an inner HTML of the div, or I can set txt, whatever you want. I can say hello. Okay, now we have to keep something there first. Alright, I'll say this is where the text will come. This is where the text will come. Okay, no problems. Let me say, yeah, this is where the text will come. Okay. Okay. Let me hit a BR and a BR here just to show you. Yeah, so now this is where the text will come. So I'll say hello. No, it's not happening. So let me see this. What is the problem? So I'll say my div dot text is equivalent to name. Maybe, who knows if we can do this. No, it's not happening. Okay, let me see this. Is this basically a value name or what? Okay, I'll say text is equivalent to name. It's still not coming. What happened? Okay, let me see that dot value is equivalent to name. I'll directly give value and then see what we do with HTML and everything else. Okay, so no, it's not coming. Document dot get element by id, my div. Is the div? Where is the div? I don't know. Yeah, it's here. My, it is id my div, and it is right here, my div. Right, so that I can directly say dot html instead of inner HTML and outer HTML. Why don't I call dot html, right, is equivalent to name. Okay, so maybe it's cached. It's at times it caches a lot. Yeah, now it's working. So I'll say FAHIMKHEN. The moment I click on submit button, you can see I get Fahim Khan is working, right? So I'm getting it. I'm trying to grab the text on button click. I try to grab this text on button click, and you can see this is coming here. So at this time I don't want to show you the entire JavaScript, right? Or you can even take this, for example, this is var let's say about button, right? You can do this also. And another var is Sutton. What is Sutton? I don't know. Okay, var text text box is equivalent to, right? So now we have both. We don't want to get the value. Now we are creating a reference. So this will be now having an alias button, and this div will be having an alias txt box, right? Right or wrong? Right. So I will say text text box dot inner HTML is equivalent to button is equivalent to button dot value, right? So now whenever you click on button, right, no, it's text box, it is div, right? Oh, sorry. So I will say text box get text box dot value and set it as an inner HTML of this div. Now this is how div is going to be called, and this is how you're saying get element by id txt value will be now called as txt box. You say txt box dot value, grab the value of text box and give it to assign. This is an assignment operator, single is equivalent to assign it as text to div dot inner HTML. So this is what we can do as well, right? So we can say hello HTML5 CSS3, how is it going? So hello HTML5 and CSS3, how is it going? You'll say okay, it's going absolutely fine. So the moment I show you this, my intentions are not going to show you entire JavaScript because that's not the topic today. But yeah, in order to understand Canvas, we'll have to understand a bit of HTML5 today, right, as well. So now let's go back to Canvas, and I will say canva canvas.html, right? So after going to canvas.html, let's draw a canvas here. Alright, so I'll do nothing but directly draw a canvas by using canvas tag, right? And let's give it an ID. You know why are we giving ID now? So I'll say my canvas. So that ID is given so that we can call it in JavaScript. So let me call this as width. It has a width of 200 pixels and height of, let me say height of 200 pixels as 1. Okay, so let me close this canvas right here. So inside this canvas, now you have prepared a canvas board for you. And now inside this canvas you will be having different things. And now we have to go to JavaScript because canvas may require JavaScript. So I'll directly go to JavaScript and I will say script tag. Script tag, what's tag? Nothing's is equal to text slash JavaScript. And now I can go and close this JavaScript right here. And now what we can do right here, I can say var, which is the variable name, c is equal to canvas is equal to document dot get element by id. I'm calling now by id because canvas has an id of my canvas. I call this by id. Right, so I'll say my canvas. Right, now you're calling this by id. Now this is here. Right, and let's create another var context is equal to c dot get context. You get all the context properties of this canvas. Now canvas has two type of contexts. One is 2D, another is 3D. So I'm interested in 2D today. So I'll say now get the context of this canvas as 2D shaped or as 3D shaped. And even if you can see right here, nothing is shown, right? The moment I do this, right, I'll say now this is very important now, right? Because now we'll have to give, for example, let's say border. So I can say BORDE, a border is equal to 1. So the moment I say border 1, it does not take any border. I don't know. Okay, let me style it, inline styling, just to show you. Style is equal to border 1 pixels and red solid, right? So we can use this. Now you can see that the canvas is drawn here. So this is how your canvas may look like. It's not only the canvas. You can play around with canvas. You can create vector graphics. You can create 2D, 3D graphics, right? And if I say because we'll have to still understand that we can call many different things of this vector. So let me call it context by 3D, by 2D first, because 3D is not going to work unless I draw it. And now I'll say CTX move the context, which is the 2D context, move it to 0. When I say move it to 0, means 0 from right hand side and 0 from top hand side. You start drawing the convex right from, I'll say move to X and Y. You can clearly see X position and Y position, X axis and Y axis. I say 0 0. I want to start from the beginning. That means this is the Y axis, so I want to start from 0 here exactly, and this is the X axis. On X axis I want to start from here, right? And after that you want CTX dot, I want to draw a line, right? Because you are now at the context is at 0 0 0 X and 0 Y. So now I'll say draw line, or you can say line 2. You are going to draw a line 2 because the width here is 200, so I will say I want to take another 200, draw it to 200, and the height is 200, and I'll take both 200 and 200. And now still it's not going to draw any line, because unless you stroke it, stroke means creating the line. CTX dot str OKE. Now context is creating a stroke here. The moment I say stroke, nothing happens. Why? Something wrong. Okay, so we say CTX dot move to 0 0, CTX dot line 2, which is 200. So let me keep 100 here. Okay, something is wrong somewhere. Okay, I have just deleted this, I suppose. No. ID is equal to my canvas, height. Okay, fine. I deleted the starting brace here. Okay, fine. So now let me try. Yeah, the canvas is quite good. And I say ctx.line to 200. That means x 200 and y. So then I call stroke stroke, And the moment I call stroke, it should try and give the line here, right? So why isn't it giving? Right, because okay, I'll have to see this first, where context is equal to canvas dot get context context, which is again going to be 2D context that I want to draw, right? And maybe no. So I can say move the context to 0 and 0. Maybe I'll have to, still not doing it. So move the context, what is the width? 100. Move the context to 0 and 200. And I'll say stroke, right? Let me give the stroke, let me call few more properties. Context is going to start. Okay, let me call few more properties before I get started. So we know that where context is equivalent to now the canvas.getContext, which is here 2D. Okay, now let me call this context, context, context dot begin path. So let me call, okay, now it's context here. Yeah, why do I call ctx then? Wait a second. Why am I calling ctx when it is context? Where context, I'll have to call context, and I'll have to call context because I have named it context. So now you can clearly see a line is drawn through, right? Because I just happen to see it, right? So the context is, you're calling a 2D context, or you can call it 3D context. It depends, depending on you. 3D will have to still draw it, right? You call the 2D context and you say move. You can even say, when the moment I go with move, you can say x first. If you say x axis, I want to go to 0, and on y axis I want to go to 0. Let's say about on x axis I want to be at 10. You can still be at 10. Now you can see you moved x axis 10 degrees, right? So maybe 20. You can move on x axis, and this is how you can draw a context. And you can say 70 on y axis also, right? So you can draw this kind of context. But yeah, in my case I wanted to start from 0 and 0. Now you can draw a line through, and you can say line to 200 and 100. That means 200 is basically you're taking the full width, and 100 is basically the height, right? So if I say 200, so it's going to go out and see. Now you can see, right? And that's why we're drawing this kind of a thing right here. Alright, so this is your canvas, and let me show you some more properties of canvas. So now we have already context working. So I'll say context dot begin path. So we're starting context, right? And I can say context context. Maybe we have again some spelling mistake. Now I can say context dot rectangle. I want to create a rectangle based context, x, y, width and height, right? So x, let me create it 100, 70, 200, 100, right? So now you can see that you have been able to create nothing, right? And let me say context 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 dot stroke. Now I'll create a stroke. Now you can clearly see here we have this kind of line coming here. Let me increase the width of this canvas here, right? So let me say 600 pixels by 200 pixels so that we will be able to see it more clearly. Now inside canvas I'm using another canvas right here. So let me say that this is the area, this is my canvas area, and here I'm drawing this rectangle. You can draw circle as well, right? And depending on what you want to draw, there are many vector graphics that we can draw. For example, now what is this? Why is it coming here? For example, if I say 10, right, you can clearly see how much away you are going to go from the main canvas area. The main canvas area is 600 pixels, right? I want to start from the canvas area. I want to give 100 pixels gap from here. So this is here. Now I want from top to be 40 pixels only. Now you can see from top you're only 40 pixels. So this is how much you want to move from you can say from the x-axis and from the y-axis, right? And this is the total width, so you can create the width 300, right, and maybe 400, right? And this is the total height, and height can be maybe 80 pixels, who knows, whatever height you want. So maybe 100 pixels, right? Yeah, this is your height, and this is what you want. Right, and you want to fill, for example, we have context.fill, and we can use context dot fill. We have this context.fill style is equal to the color. I'll say GREY, gray. I want to fill this context style with gray. Maybe gray is not working. Yeah, gray is working because I have to give it as string. I'm giving it as integer. Yeah, now you can see it has been filled with gray or maybe red. Who knows? Why will this again? So I will say context dot fill style green. Yeah, I have to use fill, sorry. Once you use context.fill style, and then you have to call context.fill, and I can still use red here. Now you can see here, but yeah, this, since you can see that the pixels around the corners are broken, so that is one of the drawbacks with the canvas, that once you zoom in, so it's going to break down the pixels. That's why we have a replacement for canvas. Instead of using canvas, we use SVG, that is scalable vector graphics. So let me take a look at the time first. So yeah, I'm already at 47 minutes today. Yeah, I'll just 2 or 3 minutes will extend it today, will complete canvas at least. And then when I say freestyle is equal to red, right? And you can even give let's say about line width. Yeah, how much line width you want to give, and I will say context dot line width, so I'll say 4. Now you can increase the line width as per your own likings, right? You can see now the border line width means the border width, right? So you can clearly see that it has increased the line width, right? And what stroke style? So I'll say stroke, I can say context dot stroke style. What do you want stroke? What is the style of the stroke or the color of the border? I can say green, for example, just to show you, right? So context style is now green. You can say the border style has turned now to green, right? And this is it what we have for canvas. You can draw circles, but I'll show you how to draw circle using SVG graphics, and that's going to be same with canvas as well. And before I close down today's topic, I just want to show you the last thing, right, before I show you the scalable vector graphics. And there are many different things and many differences that we still have to see today, right? So for that, yeah, I have to show you something very good. For example, I'll go back to my index.html right here. So let me go back to index.html, and let me go inside the same article, or maybe it's going to be too much for you today, so I'll rest my case here today, right? Do practice all, and tomorrow we'll start with audio controls and video controls, and it is going to be a bit interesting for you guys. Start editing and adding your own videos and videos to the controls, or maybe to your HTML pages. Until then, let me know if I can help you, or if there's anything that you have not understood. Let me know down in the comment section, or you can directly message me. Until then, bye bye, take care, and please remember me in your prayers. Bye.